Folks, we need to break down what the heck is happening with Peacemaker. So if you didn't see over the weekend, a surprising update came in from Epic Games regarding Peacemaker and their collaboration Fortnite skin. So the news came in from Fortnite status. We are disabling the Peaceful Hips emote in Fortnite as we inquire into our partner's creative intentions. So if you saw this out of nowhere, you might be very confused. What is the Peaceful Hips emote? What do they mean about the intentions? Why did this have to be completely removed? And to talk about that, we really need to go backwards, because I know some folks out there aren't watching Peacemaker. And first of all, watch Peacemaker. You're doing yourself a disservice by not watching it. But we are in the second season of this show, and it's important to understand a little bit of the context. So let's jump back to season 1 of Peacemaker, where, gosh, I wish I could play this full audio for you, but at the very least, I'm going to hit you with that first few notes. All right, and the rest is going to have to get muted. So this is Peacemaker's opening intro from season 1, which is this absolute absurdist choreography, done deadpan face, absolute comedy gold right here. This is how every single episode of Peacemaker started. Top 10 intros of all time. Yes, absolutely. So you can see here, the bit is clearly, you have all the lead cast and some of the supporting cast randomly doing these big, audacious arm movements with these deadpan faces, thrusting their hips, being absolutely absurd. This was the intro for season 1. And it was absolutely legendary, especially the music. Again, I'll play like 3 seconds of it so I don't get copyright struck, but it's just so beautiful. Only James Gunn could. So this is the intro for season 1. It's a big bit. It's in fact it becomes an inside joke between the fandom of Peacemaker, where you have a solid opening, cold open, and then you just hear the "Do you really want it?" chime in before you cut to this absolutely ridiculous dance number. So for season 2 of Peacemaker coming back, Peacemaker took a long break between seasons because in between, James Gunn actually inherited the full reign to the DC cinematic universe, and he made the Superman movie, and now Peacemaker season 2 is the first thing to come out following Superman, where very importantly, it's setting up the rest of the DC universe, and it does also have another rendition of the opening sequence, this time to a different song. And what we're talking about here is the choreography and how intentional or not some of these moves are. So again, just watching this in the context of the initial the initial season 1 opening credits, you're seeing a lot of familiarity here, right? It's all the major cast. They're all super deadpan, doing these super random big movements. But the big issue that we run into is actually regarding one of the first moves that we see here, where you'll see Peacemaker's character doing this little move here. 1, 2, right there. That move with his arms. I'll play it back for you one more time. And if you know, you might not know, but this 1, 2 of his arm movements is where this controversy is coming regarding what is the intention behind this movement here. We're going to circle back to this. So this is the first major release for DC Studios following Superman. Naturally, there's going to be some corporate synergy to promote it all. Superman itself was embedded into the battle pass for Fortnite, which if you've never played Fortnite, it is extremely common for them to have these character skins, these character outfits that have additional collateral that goes with it. You can get a shield, a color wave, a back bling, a pickaxe, those sort of things. And there's dancing. You're playing Fortnite now while watching? Excellent. I am excellent Fortnite background play. Tell your friends. But it's very common for Fortnite to have two different types of skins. Some skins that are included in a battle pass, which is like sort of this reward system that you can keep earning, or skins that just exist in the shop where you can purchase them and have them in your inventory. Wow, we got two Fortniters. Amazing. So the Peacemaker skin, as part of a collaboration with DC and Epic Games, was put onto the store, and you'll notice here the peaceful hip stance. Now, what do you notice here with his arms? Hey, wasn't I just saying that that's where the controversy stands with this particular arm movement? Well, as we mentioned here at the start, Fortnite said they're disabling the peaceful hips emote as we inquire into our partner's creative intentions in this collab emote. Now, what the heck does that mean, creative intentions about the collab emote? Well, as we've discussed, the emote in the item shop specifically features this opening dance move from Peacemaker, where he's doing this up and down motion with his arms, which I keep battling the instinct to do it, given the context that we're about to give, but this movement here with his arms is what we keep coming back to. Now, why is it hard for Fortnite to understand the creative intentions for this arm movement? Well, as we mentioned, Peacemaker Season 2 is the first thing to come out following Superman, and it is really important and prevalent to the future of the DC universe that James Gunn is setting up. So James Gunn, at the premiere of Peacemaker, spoke on the fact that a lot of the back half of this show was being kept secret because they didn't want to reveal some surprising twists regarding the back half of the season. Here he is talking to Brandon Davis from Phase Zero, where Brandon asks him, hey, how come nobody has seen episodes 6, 7, and 8? This was in regards to review screeners that go out. So typically, different review platforms will receive entire seasons of TV early so that they could write their reviews ahead of time and they could kind of come out with the episodes so that, you know, they're not making writers stay up till midnight to publish their reviews. So he asks him, hey, how come only the first 5 episodes were sent out? And here's James Gunn speaking to that.
Things. It could mean they're terrible.
That is one option.
Or it could mean that there's a lot of major twists and turns in the last 3 episodes. And even though, you know, I'm only sending the first 5 to select few, things still get out. As you know, things got out already. You know, people
and this is before the season had even premiered.
But I really don't want what's in those last 3 episodes to be spoiled, and so I'm keeping them close to the chest. I won't even let my publicist see them. That's the guy.
And I will say that's probably one of the most important points there. James Gunn said, I won't even let my publicist see him. So there's only a handful of people that have even seen the last 3 episodes of Peacemaker. Now, this is where we're going to get, I believe this next tweet, this is where we're going to get into some spoilers. So, nobody has seen 6, 7, and 8 of Peacemaker Season 2. This collaboration skin has happened. And last Thursday, Episode 6 of Peacemaker Season 2 premiered. So, folks, the rest of this is going to involve some spoilers about Peacemaker. If you're curious at all about watching Season 2 of Peacemaker and you want to be surprised, hey, don't worry, I have a spoiler warning on screen here. So you might see some stuff on your screen. I apologize, but until this spoiler warning goes away, we are talking about spoilers. So you be warned, skip ahead, come back later after you watch the episode. I've given you plenty of time here. Just mute the stream, focus on Fortnite for a bit, and come back when you don't see spoiler warning. Or if you don't care, we'll launch right into it. Okay, mute me and talk soon. Perfect. So, in episode 6 of Peacemaker, we have a very important reveal happen at the end of the episode, where some folks had speculated, and of course it is revealed, what is actually happening in the world. Where Peacemaker has gone into an alternate reality.
What got out? I'm black! What?
And this craziness ensues, where he realizes that the world that he has gone into is not just a copycat of our world. It's not just an Earth 2, but it is in fact
Fuck me.
Earth X.
This is your perfect world, huh?
Yep. So, it is revealed that the big twist of season 2, that episode 6 that James Gunn had warned us about, was the reveal that Peacemaker had stumbled into Earth X. So what is Earth X? Earth X exists in the comics. It is established back in Justice League of America, number 107, where Uncle Sam calls on the Justice League to help them on Earth X, which is an alternate reality where the Nazis won World War II. This is an alternate universe in which, as is explained in the multiverse guide of DC, it's an alternate Earth where Superman's ship, instead of crashing into Smallville, Kansas, it crashes into a Nazi-occupied Germany and essentially gives them the tools to win the war. This is not the first time that Earth X or Earth 10 has been used on the TV screens. Fans of the Arrowverse will remember Crisis on Earth X, their annual crossover event, featured a plot line in which the evil villains of Earth X started invading the Flash and Arrow universe. In this version, it was Supergirl who landed in the in Nazi Germany during World War II. And I'm sorry, this is just a hilarious detail and like, hey, good art direction, but Supergirl's S is an SS, which is outrageous. And then Reverse Flash has the double Flash logo because it also is the SS. It's outrageous, but you know what? Props to the costume department. So, it is revealed that the Earth 2 in Peacemaker Season 2 is actually Earth X. And this dance move that Peacemaker is seen doing actually has some bases in the real world. This is a 1943 animated propaganda campaign that Walt Disney created regarding life in Germany. And we're going to see Donald Duck here do something that we do not endorse, but it is important historical context.
1, 2, 3, hi, 1, 2, 3, hi, 1, 2, 3, hi, 1, 2, 3.
Oh, look at that!
And now
Donald Duck was doing a little dance there. Does that look a little familiar to anyone? Arms going in a little up and down motion? I'd say that looks quite familiar to something that we've seen here. So, now arises the question from Epic Games and from the people over at Fortnite. Is this arm motion that Peacemaker is doing here purposely insinuating some sort of Nazi propaganda in which the dance is echoing the look of the swastika? Well, let's hear it directly from the producers of Peacemaker, the choreographer, in this behind-the-scenes documentary that they released regarding the opening dance number. And we'll just let them speak for themselves here.
This season, we were a lot more collaborative with James. He really helped to shape the story of the dance.
There's a lot of surprise elements that, as you watch the season, it'll enrich what's happening in the opening credits.
It has some of the best moments.
So, as you watch the season, as you collaborate with the story, you will get more of the context for the story that's happening. So, as we showed at the start here, the opening sequence shows Peacemaker doing the motion, but that motion is only done one more time in the entire dance sequence. And it is when it features these three characters who are from Earth X. And what dance do they do? The same exact controversial arm movement. The 1-2. So, Epic Games asks the very valid question. We want to understand our partner's creative intentions with this collab emote. Assume it's not coming back. We'll issue refunds. Was Peacemaker's opening sequence hinting at the reveal that would come in episode 6? And was it an outright reference to a common Nazi dance arm sequence, arm movement? Was that the intention of the filmmakers? I think the signs are pointing yes. I think that the choreographer knew what they were doing. And I know that I think they know what they were intending. And look, this is not to say that they are endorsing this. In fact, the entire reason for this reveal is a story perspective. It has weight in the story of Peacemaker, of Chris. If you watch the show, you understand the context that he comes from in his real life, in Peacemaker's real life universe. His father was a white supremacist, and he had to deal with what that meant for him as a person. And he stumbles into this alternate reality where suddenly his father is a hero and everyone is nice to him and respects him, and he never calls into question the reason why. And unfortunately, we come to find out the reason why. So, was Fortnite in the wrong for pulling this dance from their item shop? Honestly, no. I do think it was the intention of the choreographer and of the filmmakers to have this be a subtle nod to the reveal that was coming. So, apologies for anyone who bought the dance thinking that it was just silly arm movements similar to the original season of Peacemaker, but that was not what was happening in this case. And I watched the entire dance sequence, so you don't have to. The only time that those Nazi arms are done is with the characters from Earth 10 and in the beginning with Peacemaker. None of the other characters do that particular dance motion. So, Peacemaker Season 2, incredible. It is worth a watch, especially if you're a fan of the DC Universe. But that dance that they were doing, I believe, was intentionally done the way that it was done. But what do you think, folks? Am I out of line here? Am I putting too much into it? Do you think that it was just a pure coincidence? Or did I nail it? Because I think I nailed it. Alright. Spoiler warning's over. You can turn the audio back on. We're good. Watch Peacemakers Thursdays at 9 p.m. I think so too. I also think it's very clear. I think they were most definitely doing it intentionally. And you know what? Props to the filmmakers, props to the artists for being creative because it's a silly opening dance sequence, but it's also an opportunity to enrich your story. And I think that's exactly what they were doing there. So I'm going to give them props for that. It is kind of very silly and very unfortunate that nobody thought to communicate that to Epic Games. Yeah, What a surprisingly non-relevant spoiler conversation that we just had. Um, look, what's a little bit, and here's the last thing I'll say about it, and this is, again, not talking in the spoilers, but this is a little bit of a big whoopsie in the case that you have a choreographer that has an artistic intention and is working and collaborating with the showrunner, the creator, the writer, the filmmaker behind the story. But you also have these big corporate groups that are synergizing and going, oh, we want to have your character. He needs to have a dance because that's more things that we can add in here to make money for our game and our partnership and whatever it may be. And it's a shame that the choreographer in this case, and this is something that, I'm not super well versed in, but I do understand that there's some sketchiness in the way that Epic Games clears the choreography for Fortnite. It is just very possible that it never made it to the choreographer and it never made it to James Gunn. And so nobody got to warn them, hey, maybe not that dance move. Although in an interview with Brandon Davis recently, Brandon Davis did thank James Gunn for getting Peacemaker onto Fortnite, and I believe his response was like, "Oh, that wasn't me this time. That was Fortnite." So, who knows? To this date, I don't believe Fortnite has given another official update, but it is safe to assume that the dance is not coming back. Shall we get into some movie news now? Shall we get into the news of the week? Are we ready for Movie News Monday?